Love, it has been good to me this time around. Things were they were bound to change when it was found. Sugar never tasted sweeter on my lips. My heart is now intact and I can find
Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Oh, yes, sirree. It is the Christmas episode of XRadLive, the talk show that really does get you talking. It was going to go into the 12 days of Christmas then. We'll be there forever. We'll get back to some Christmas stuff later. So, as I said, welcome to the Christmas episode of XRadLive, the talk show that really does get you talking on the Xander Network, live from an undisclosed location. And no, it's not your mother's basement or my mother's basement. I'm Xander, and on today's show, I get on my soapbox, but only for a few minutes to share my Christmas happiness. The conservarican Julio Rivera joins us, and comedian D Snyder drops by to add his unique perspective to this week's hot topics. And I will be joining Joe Messina on the real side at 6 PT Pacific, if you can bear any more of the Gipster tonight. So you can have your say in the live feed, and as usual, we will be sharing your comments as we go, and you can call in. We're going to have a Christmas call-in this week, 845-363-4747. If you're in the United States, that's 845-363-4747. Or you can also call us via Facebook Live. We'll tell you how to do that when we get there. You can follow me on social media everywhere but Twitter, because the truth scares them. Oh, yes, sirree. No, it's not my mother's basement, Neil. Honest. Oh, I don't have a basement. I live in the penthouse building, the penthouse apartment, and there's no basement on the top floor. Oh, yes, sirree. So it is Christmas, everybody. So we should all be happy and gay. I'm already halfway there. And Christmas always brings around lots of happy memories for me as a child, ripping open packages and being more interested in the packages than the content. But that's just Christmas for me. Hello to everybody in the live feed. Hello to Neil. Hello to Brenda. Hi to Debbie. Hello to Sean. People are just coming in. And hello to everyone that's watching but is not actually in the conversation. Come and join us. come and get involved in the conversation. We're going to take your calls very soon. We want to know what Christmas means to you, because apparently it means something different to everybody. What Christmas means to me is it means eating far too much, drinking far too much, and getting a little out of control. I'm actually going to keep my Facebook off all Christmas Day, which is going to be a big feat for me, because usually I'm on all the time, but I won't be on Christmas Day. So we're going to take your calls now. What does Christmas mean to you? 845-363-4747. That's 845-363-4747. Neil, I don't give pics of where I live. My security would really have my guts for garters. I'm very secretive about my location, hence it being undisclosed. Oh, yes, siree. So are we going to get some callers today? Everybody always complains about not getting to call in. And then when we give you the opportunity to call, you don't call in. Let me give you that number one more time. 845-363-4747. That's 845-363-4747 if you're in the United States. And if you're in the UK and you want to call, you can do that via Facebook Live if we're friends, but only do it while the show is on. Because if you call me at 3 a.m., I am not going to be very pleased. Oh, no, sorry. So let's just share the link in the events file. Hey to Sharon, welcome. I hope you're feeling good and you had your nap. I had a little nap. I slept for a little too long and woke up and didn't know where I was. It is a bit scary when that happens, but unfortunately, it does happen quite a lot. We were talking a little bit earlier about sleep apnea. Do any of you suffer with that out there? I know I do, and it's very difficult. And lots of people laugh about sleep disorders. I know someone that walks in their sleep, which is kind of worrying, because if you live in a high-rise, like I do, that would be very worrying because you would end up walking out of the building. How scary would that be? So don't go doing that if you live in a high-rise and you have any kind of sleep disorder. Let's go back to the live feed. Hi to Andy. Hello to Ray. Welcome to the show. Are you out of Twitter jail? Is this or Facebook jail, or is this your secondary account? We're going to take your calls about that too. Are you sick of Facebook banning you for the most simplistic of things? I find whenever I criticize them, they either they mess with my feed, or they ban me, and there are certain words that I'm not allowed to say or put in my feed. And it's actually got so ridiculous that you can't even allude to anything now. So give us a call, 845-363-4747. Hello to Barry. That's 845-363-47. Give us a call. We're taking calls about Christmas. We're taking calls about sleep disorders. Do you fall asleep during your everyday life? Anyway, where was I? No, I'm just joking. I don't have narcolepsy. But that must be really frightening, because apparently you can't drive with narcolepsy, because obviously you would fall asleep while you were driving. Imagine having a narcoleptic cab driver. Can you take me to JFK? Yeah, sure. It would be rather worrying. So are we going to get some callers today? Who is willing to give us a call? 845-363-4747. That's 845-363-4747. I'm going to put the number in the live feed. I also want to tell you, a lot of people have been saying that about the time of the show, that it kind of, is a weird time for people. So after Christmas, we will be changing our time. We will be going out at 5 Pacific, 7 Central, 8 Eastern. and that would be pretty late in the US, but in the UK rather. But you're still welcome to join us. Apparently, Ray is saying that they overturned the decision and requested what they took down, but I am still on a 30-day suspension. It's getting rather, I don't know how I feel about all of this. Not only do they sell all of our pictures and our telephone numbers and our addresses, etc., but now they want to, circumvent our freedom of speech. What do you think about that? Give us a call. 845-363-4747. Call us and let us know what you think. We're taking calls on Christmas. We're also talking about sleep disorders because we are. And we're also talking about issues with social media. Neil says, I imagine an NYC cab ride is riding in a NASCAR, but the driver has no experience and can't understand English. That pretty much sums it up. You know these little kind of like hand grips at the side? Even with your seatbelt on, if you're in the back, you really have to grip on tightly because they're zipping in and out. Because what happens is, they want to get you dropped off, they want to get to their next job, etc., etc. And most of the time, you are kind of, dicing with death to take a cab in NYC. You watch next time I'm in NYC, there's going to be no cabs willing to take me. You had that man on the radio that said you should not get in New York cab because we treat you so badly. I don't know where that accent was from, but you really do get the picture. So who's going to give us a call before our guest comes on, our first guest, Julio Rivera, the Conservative Rican, 847-363-4747. That's 845-363-4747. I can't read a word of this. My eyes have got bad of late. And, really small stuff. Do you find this, that when you go into the store and you're looking on cans to see what the ingredients are, because we should all do that, because they're putting stuff like, I don't know, barbiturates and bits of metal and things like that. Do you look at the content of the cans? Because when I do, it's like I've got to rope down the Hubble telescope and have it this close in order to be able to read the writing. I don't know if it's an age thing or a male thing or, my sister said when you get to 35, because I've been 35 for several years now, that your eyes start to fail you, and she really is right. And that's kind of concerning. Sharon says they're afraid of the truth and take draconian measures to suppress it. Yes, that's absolutely true. I think one of the biggest problems is with Facebook is that it should be impartial, but unfortunately it's not. And I think I would go so far as to say that every year Mark Zuckerberg gets a big Christmas bonus from Uncle George Soros in order to kind of suppress conservative commentary. And that really is a problem for me. It really is. Hello, Camille. Welcome to the show. Hello to Joyce. Are we going to get any calls today? Let's give you the number again. 845-363-4747. That's 845-363-4747. We're talking about Christmas. What does Christmas mean to you? We're also talking about sleep disorders. Apparently, I've fallen asleep 3 times during the show. And we just got a call from someone that's listening to the show on the radio, driving to the location, who fell asleep listening to the show. Oh, formaldehyde? Oh yeah, I'm sure they put that in canned foods. It wouldn't surprise me. Apparently a certain fast food chain puts arsenic in their chicken nuggets, and they're allowed to have 0.0001 grams of arsenic in their chicken nuggets. And that's a real worry for me, that they're allowed to do that and they're allowed to get away with it. Yes, it has been a long time, Camille. Merry Christmas to you too. And Merry Christmas to all of you watching and all of you listening wherever you are in the world. We are going out live internationally on several radio stations and lots of social media platforms. So come on, who's going to be that first one to call? Let me give you the number one more time for you scaredy cats out there. 845-363-4747. That's 845-363-4747. So the Brexit mystery, arsenic indeed. The Brexit mystery continues here in the UK. And this week, apparently, the leader of the opposition, that's kind of like the leader of the Democrats, the equivalent of here in the UK, called the Prime Minister, which is the equivalent to the President, like she could be equal to Donald Trump, called her a stupid woman. And frankly, she has been behaving like a stupid woman. Is it wrong that he did that? Should he apologize? He's basically saying he said stupid people, and absolutely he was correct. It is a worry to me that people can behave in certain ways and we're not allowed to comment on it. So give the call. Tell us what you think. Is Jeremy Corbyn a sexist, or was he absolutely right for calling a spade a spade? 845-363-4747. Neil says everything you type on the internet is stored and bought and sold on to the highest bidder. That's why everything is free. That is so true. So if I'm looking for a pair of Wellington boots and I go on a site that sells Wellington boots, you can guarantee within 5 minutes, because there are data miners on everyone's computer now, I will see adverts on Facebook for Wellington boots or whatever I want to buy. And when that first started happening, I thought it was coincidental. I was like, oh my gosh, that's really, such a super coincidental thing. But it wasn't. It was the fact that they're selling our data to the highest bidder. Happy Christmas to you too, Sharon. I hope you have a good one. And to all my Jews out there, happy Hanukkah. I don't know if that's over yet. I usually celebrate everything because we've got Jews in our family, and we've also got Christians, and we're all I celebrate everything. I really do. Neil says, where are we? Neil says, blah, 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 the regulatory bodies are all ran by industry insiders, so that's why they get away with murder. Absolutely. Well, apparently Camille is saying, but it's a safe level. I think she's referring to with regards to the arsenic in the chicken nuggets. It is, but why do they need to put arsenic in there anyway? To me, it's a worry that they're putting this crap in our food. And then we wonder why we have kids with ADHD and things like this. And, we wonder why we have Democrats running around with vaginas on their heads. I rest my case, people. I really do. So we've got one more chance to take a call. 845-363-4747. That's 845-363-4747. Sharon is saying Christmas Tov. Yes, that's brilliant. Shana Tova to you. Oh no, I think that's something else. My Hebrew is terrible. And for all of you out there, no, Hebrew is not a male teabag. It is the language of my forefathers. Oh yes, sirree. Another thing I heard today, probably got time to just tell you about this. There is a musician whose name escapes me. He's a Jewish musician. He was expelled from Israel for some of his commentary. But in London, in Camden, they've refused to let him play on stage because they're saying he's anti-Semitic. Now, I read some of the stuff that he's written, and I would be the first one to say, oh, this is not acceptable if it was anti-Semitic. I don't agree with the majority of the things that he says, but they're in no way anti-Semitic. So the thing is, for me, are we getting to the point in our society? If you want to try again, we might be able to get you in for a very, very quick call. So the point that I'm making is it okay to ban people from things just because they disagree with us? Because sooner or later it actually gets to the point where we that wasn't me, by the way, that was the computer. It gets to the point where what we do is we only kind of interact with people who agree with us. And some people would say, oh, well, Xander, don't you do that when you complain about people like, the actress on Will and Grace and what's her name, the actress who plays Cruella de Vil. Yeah, I guess I do to an extent, but I'm not trying to stop her from doing her. Hello, you're live on XRadLive. What's your name and where are you calling from? Hello? Speak. Hello? Is there something you wanted to share?
Hi, Xander.
Hi, who's this?
Camille.
Hi, Camille. We've got about 30 seconds before I bring the guest on. What would you like to share with us tonight? First of all, happy Christmas to you. What does Christmas mean to you?
I think banning things is bad, and I think natural selection should start taking some people out.
Right.
But that's just my opinion.
Right. Absolutely. Are we gonna start with Democrats or where are we gonna start with that?
No, I think it's just pretty much across the board.
Right.
I don't think we need to put any labels on anything. I think it just needs to be thinned out a little bit.
Yeah. Do you think that that's going to actually start to happen though? Because I'm seeing a turnaround in the United States and here in the UK too. My guest is, I'll finish this thought, but then I'll have to go because my guest is waiting to come on.
Okay.
But I'm hoping that people, because we've had such a level of stupidity in both places, both sides of the pond, and I'm hoping that will start to change.
Actually, I think it is. I think
Yeah.
it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think as people see...
They're sick and tired of being sick and tired.
I think they absolutely are. Listen, I'm sorry to cut you off. I would like to talk to you more. If we can get any more calls in later, we'll
Okay.
feel free to call
Love
back.
you, Xander.
Love you too. Thanks for calling, Camille, and happy Christmas to you.
Bye.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. I'm going to bring on my guest now, my first guest tonight, Julio Rivera, the Conservarican. He is... I'm sorry about this. The technology eludes me sometimes. So we're going to bring him on a little late because we took a call outside the realms of the call time. But let's see if we can get the Conservarican himself. Hi, Christopher. It's ringing. Mark calling Orson. Mark calling Orson. Come in, Orson.
I guess my Orson is that the game we're playing?
Yeah, exactly. Because we gotta do something to kind of liven things up a bit. It is Christmas after all. Welcome back to the show, the one, the only, the fabulous Mr. Julio Rivera. How is the world with you over there in New York City, or are you in New Jersey today?
I'm in an undisclosed location.
Yeah.
Would it be Christmas if we didn't get on the phone and chat here?
No, it absolutely wouldn't. And I would really like to be starting to drink now, but I have another show to do later, and I have to go and have lunch with family tomorrow. But I've got like champagne chilling on ice, and it's saying "Drink me, Xander, drink me." And we have this delicacy in the UK called mince pies, and I've got like 10 boxes of them that are calling to me too. But I have to be good and just kind of wait for the appropriate time. So are you all ready? Have you bought everything that you need to buy, or do you have to go and do a mad rush this weekend to get yourself sorted?
Well, through the magic of Jeff Bezos and Amazon Prime, I completed the majority of my Christmas shopping just sitting around at home.
Right.
I mean, I've been to the stores recently to purchase a couple things here and there, but the majority, the girls are taken care of. The family that I'm buying presents for, the good family, is already taken care of.
Right.
So, we're pretty much good to go here. So, the one thing I am going to do is I haven't gotten around to decorating yet, which I'm going to do this weekend, and then I'm going to make a Christmas wonderland here for the baby.
Wow, she will love that. How old is your youngest now?
Well, she is a year and a half. She will be a year and a half officially, like at the beginning of January, but she's just about 18 months.
Because I kind of feel the older they get, the more they can appreciate it. Because I guess last year she was just like, what the hell is all of this? But as they get older,
she was a drooling idiot last year. No,
right?
That's horrible. I can't believe that.
I get it. I'm a drooling idiot every year. So shall we look at some newsy items and have some fun with that?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. If I can get my teleprompter to work. Just 1 second. I don't know what it is, but I'm hopeless without my teleprompter. Here we go. It's working. The Christmas fairies are smiling on us. And I don't mean me before anybody throws that into.
You're my favorite Christmas fairy.
Oh, well, thank you very much. But we have to be careful because Thomas S. Schmitz is the truth fairy. So he can be the truth fairy and I'll be a Christmas fairy. So this first topic we're going to look at is one that was actually suggested by Julio. And I thought he was joking, but when I went to look at it and found out how ridiculous it really was, I thought, we really got to talk about this. So Disney are in trouble for its trademark of the East African phrase Hakuna Matata from the film The Lion King. Now, a petition calling for the company to drop its existing trademark of the Swahili words because they didn't invent the phrase has been signed by over 50,000 people, and there are people starving in the world, all of them illegals. I'm joking, I'm a comedian. Now, although the phrase, which means no problems or no worries, was trademarked by Disney in 1994, the same year The Lion King came out, its status has only recently come to the attention of the public. Petition organizer and Zimbabwean activist Shelton Mapala, what a fabulous name, told he's of the New Jersey Mapalas, I think, told the BBC that Swahili speakers have been utterly shocked to learn a part of their language had been trademarked, and they had no idea this was happening. He said, a decade before Timon and Pumbaa sang Hakuna Matata, it was the title of a song in Kenya called Hakuna Matata, released by the Kenyan band The Mushrooms. I've got everything they've ever made. I'm betting that it went triple platinum, or Harara sold lots, as it would be said in Swahili. Now, whether Disney invented the phrase or not, or any other it has trademarked, is not the issue. Whilst trademarking does allow a company or individual to protect their intellectual property, the purpose is to stop others from using the same phrase or logo in business. So what do you make of this, Julio? Isn't this like much ado about nothing?
Well, listen, the only reason I venture to guess that this Shelton Mapala found out that it was even trademarked was he probably tried to get a trademark so he can commercialize Hakuna Matata. And then he was met, obviously, with a roadblock,
right,
being that Disney had already protected it. But listen, Disney made a significant investment into the Lion King franchise, which has created thousands of jobs. I mean, I was reading, because I did a segment for RT International on this the other day, that the Lion King franchise has grossed over $8.1 billion.
Wow.
I mean, the Lion King, Simba could build the wall with the amount of money that they raked in on this. Right?
Wow.
So it's also Disney itself, right, is a global company. So to say that it's an American company trying to appropriate culture is inaccurate, because Disney is all over the world, baby. So if they want to trademark an English phrase, they want to trademark a French phrase,
right,
a phrase from any country. I mean, it's not necessarily, colonialism or whatever crap they want to go ahead and define it as, right?
Right.
In addition to that, Disney gave $348 million to charitable causes, many in Africa, last year. $348 million, right? That's a lot of money. And Disney also has a program where they hire sub-Saharan Africans, bring them to America, to a much better place, and go ahead and give them the opportunity to work at their theme parks to try to create a more authentic African experience. So listen, as far as I'm concerned, Disney's doing a lot for Africa.
Right, absolutely.
So, I mean, to sit there and say that it's some sort of like, kind of an evil sort of thing is like, the evil white man again coming in and, exploiting Africans. No, it's not necessarily like that. And I think it's just stupid. I think this is just people, the outrage police. People are looking for something to get angry about in general.
Everybody wants to be offended.
During the holidays.
Everybody wants to be offended. There was a discussion earlier I saw on Facebook, and people were saying, "Don't say Merry Christmas or Happy Christmas because it's offensive to people who aren't Christians." Well, do you know what? Don't freaking listen. If you don't like the phrase Happy Christmas, those of us that do want to enjoy it. I mean, aren't we stuck at the moment in this hype where everybody wants to be offended about something? I'm offended that you're offended. You know?
Yeah, I'm angry at you, Xander, for being angry.
Right. Good. Well, everyone's angry at me right now, so
the phone now.
you're in good company. Absolutely.
You know what? You know what you got to tell them, Xander?
Yeah.
Don't tell them Merry Christmas then. Tell them Feliz Navidad.
Yeah.
Tell them that, and they'll have no idea what you're saying. They'll think you're speaking in tongues.
Exactly.
Exercise the ghost out of you.
Exactly. Yeah. They probably think that it's a swear word. Justin in the chat just basically said, did we discuss the visa status of these workers and what kind of visa they had? And Merry Christmas to you too, Justin. I wonder how, legal this guy was the one that was actually complaining. And did he come all the way to the United States just to do it? I mean, was this a money-making thing? Because that's what I got from the research that I did.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. I mean, how else would you find out that Hakuna Matata is trademarked unless you try to trademark it yourself? And
exactly.
The other thing too, his online petition as of a couple days ago, I don't know if it's grown since then, but the online petition at that point only had 60,000 signatures. Now, there's how many people in the world? Like 7 billion?
Yeah.
60,000 is really only a
drop in the ocean.
You consider that Disney is a global company. It's not like
right.
the world is outraged about this.
No, of course not.
A very small pocket of people. And listen, online, anybody can get angry about anything and start a petition. I mean, literally, the stupidest things in the world exist on social media. And just chalk this Hakuna Matata issue right to that.
Absolutely. So we give a thumbs down to this Hakuna Matata guy, and I'm resisting the urge to say it because I don't want to get sued by him or Disney. I want to jump into our next topic, which is for me is just as ridiculous. Now, an American judge has ordered that a poacher has to repeatedly watch the movie Bambi after hundreds of deer were illegally killed and beheaded. David Berry Jr., 29, was told he must view the animated Disney classic. Today's show is not sponsored by Disney, before you ask. It is just coincidental. At least once a month during his jail sentence of 1 year. Now, the movie includes the iconic scene where a hunter shoots the Bambi's mom. Barry's first viewing of the film in a Missouri prison must take place before December 23rd. Judge Robert George ordered conservation agents called the poaching case one of the biggest in the history of the state. Prosecutors said the deer were killed for their heads and their bodies were left to rot. Barry was convicted of illegally taking wildlife in the southwest Missouri, Lawrence County. He was also sentenced to 120 days in jail for a firearms offense. Now, 3 of his relatives and another man were also caught in connection with the poaching case and have paid $51,000 in fines. That's in dollars. But none of them have got to watch the movie. Now, how damn ridiculous is this, Julio? And do we think this guy was a liberal judge?
Well, first of all, I don't think there's anything wrong with decorating your house with the heads of deers. But I will say this though. I believe in hunting. I believe in hunting for food.
Yes.
I would like to, or I probably have a little bit more sympathy for the guy had he at least eaten the food or at least did something with the bodies.
Me too.
It would have seemed more worthwhile. But yes, this is a ridiculous sentence. Is this stupid? I think sometimes people do things just to get attention, and I think probably this judge just did that to send. I don't know what kind of message he's really sending. If he really wanted to punish the guy, he could have come up with something else.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, the guy this is one of those cases where everybody involved is an idiot. The judge is an idiot because the sentence is just plain stupid. And how are you going to even enforce that? Are you going to bring him into the police station? Does this guy have to come?
He's in jail.
Watch it?
He's in jail, so they're going to force him to do it. I mean, I think what would have been worse is forcing him to watch, back Barbara Streisand movies or Lady Gaga concerts. I love you really, Stephanie. But do you know what I mean? I mean, it's
they
that.
They made him watch Dude, Where's My Car?
Yeah.
That would have been more.
Or don't what is it? Don't something you're something while drinking your orange juice in the hood.
In the hood, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different variations of that. I've seen some of the X-rated versions, but
yeah,
anyway,
I haven't because I'm a good boy. Are you on the naughty list or the nice list this year, Julio?
I think I'm probably actually. You know what? This year, I think I'm pretty much on the nice list. I think I did a lot of nice things this year. I've tried to help people. I've tried to help my community. I've tried to uplift people and stuff like that. I don't always, sometimes I uplift them really high and then I drop them.
Right.
And then they get hurt, and that's not a good thing. But I don't know. I mean, you got to ask Santa. I mean, why isn't Santa booked? Could you not book Santa?
Well, we did try and book him, but he basically said he was very busy, diddling his elves and getting the reindeer ready and things like this. So he really wasn't available. But the thing is, this I don't have a chimney anymore. So how is he going to get the gifts in my house? Someone told me he has this device, like this magic device, where he can get the gifts inside. But if anybody out there wants to send me a gift, by the way, you can actually now go on Amazon and buy gift cards for people on Facebook. I'm only joking. You don't have to buy me a gift. It's enough of a gift that you watch my show.
Screw that! I want gifts. Send me the gifts.
I do really, but you.
Julio Rivera at Facebook. I'm happy to take.
Exactly. So I want to look at this last one because this is quite seasonal. So keep your blue suede shoes behind the curb. The central German town where Elvis Presley was stationed as a U.S. soldier, in the 1950s, has installed tree pedestrian lights with images of the American rock icon. The red shows an image of the singer striking a pose at a microphone. The green depicts his trademarked hip swivel dance. They went online this week in the town of Friedberg, where Elvis, who died in 1977, may he rest in peace, he's left the building, was stationed at the U.S. Army's Ray Barracks from October 1958 to March 1960. He lived in the nearby Bad Nahum, Friedberg, north of Frankfurt. It already has an Elvis Presley Platz, Elvis Presley Square, and decided to add, you guessed it, the Elvis Presley traffic lights as an added attraction for many Elvis fans who already make the pilgrimage to the town every year. So what do you make of this? Is this just too ridiculous to be true, or is Elvis having such an impact in Germany now that they want to make the traffic lights look like him?
I think you could chalk this up to the long line of Germany's atrocities against humanity, is what I think.
If you're German and you're listening, the views of the guests do not necessarily, reflect the views of the show. I'm nodding.
If you're Andrea Merkel, don't send the squad out to get
please.
over there.
Jawohl! No. Angela Merkel, apparently she's not running for office again this time, which I think is quite a good thing for Germany and for the rest of Europe, because, Europe is kind of falling apart right now because, the UK is leaving Europe, and quite rightly so. But this woman is like, she's Hitler in a pantsuit, isn't she, really?
Exactly. The only thing worse than Hillary Clinton is German Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, that's exactly what she is. I love the short drift that Donald Trump gives her when they meet, because she is just, she's contemptible. Who does the woman think she is? Don't get me started on Angela Merkel. But we are coming to the end of our time together. That went so quickly. We'll have to have you on for a double next time, Julio. But tell people what you're up to right now and where they can find out more about what you're up to.
Okay, well, you can reach reactionarytimes.com. You can check out America's Common Ground TV or America's Common Ground, the TV show at americascommonground.tv. Sorry, sometimes I get confused. And check out my columns at Newsmax, IJR, American Thinker, Town Hall, and a bunch of other places. I can't remember them all because there's so many.
Absolutely. That was the fabulous Julio Rivera, a.k.a. the Conservative Weekend. Have a wonderful Christmas, sir. I give my love to your wonderful family, and I hope you'll come and join us again very soon.
Yes, God bless, and have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
You too, brother. Thanks a lot. Take care.
No problem. Anytime.
Bye-bye. That was the fabulous Julio Snyder, even, who is a comedian. I'm sure he will call us back in 1 second. Because this system is basically not what it should be. No. Hello to everyone who's just joined the live feed. Hello to my Gina. Hello to CV. Welcome. You don't get a tardy pass. Don't worry. Hello, Pizza World. May I take your order? Hello? Hello, is this Steven?
Hey, Xander, how you doing?
Hello, sir. Welcome to the show. How is the world with you in sunny California?
Oh, it's wonderful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, except for I'm surrounded by nuts, psychopaths, druggies, cripples, homeless, drunken people.
And feces on the streets?
People who live behind gated communities. I'm doing great.
And feces on the streets, apparently, I'm hearing.
Oh, absolutely. People are just shitting on the streets.
Wonderful.
And, it's great.
Wonderful. This is just what we want. But do we not expect anything less when we have, a piece of feces like Jerry, what's his face, Jerry Brown in charge, and it's an apt name for him, really, isn't it?
Yeah, Jerry Brown is one of the biggest boobs of any politician. This is the guy that releases prisoners who go on to rape and murder people because of his California early prisoner release program.
Wow. Yep. So don't vote for Jerry Brown. I was very disappointed when he got in again. Wouldn't it be a miracle? It would be, I can't get down on my knees. But if I could, I would get down on my knees and thank the Lord if we could get the liberals out of California, because they are what is spoiling it right now. So let's jump into some blah, blah, blah stories. Now, before we do, actually, I just wanted to ask you this. Is there any truth in the rumor that Andrew Breitbart once stopped a meeting to basically say how attractive you were?
He did. It's actually a true story. When I was running the Toughen Up American Network, which is being shut down sadly by the end of this year, I got bigger things I'm working on. We presented him with a certificate of toughness and a really nice framed certificate. It was awesome. And he was speaking in North Hollywood, and he actually stopped the meeting, and he goes, "Wow, you're a very handsome man," or something like that.
Right.
And I shook his hand, and it was one of the best moments that I've had in a while.
Yeah, I read that, and I was like, I have to check that out, because some things are more like urban myths than actually true. Sorry, we have an asshole in the live feed, so I just need to block him and not give him any credence before we move on. Oh yes, Ree, that's you blocked. Bye. So let's jump into our first story. Now, I thought of you the moment that I read this story because a mysterious contract for a stand-up gig appearance at the School of Oriental and African Studies appeared for a British comedian called Konstantin Kisin. He didn't give it a second thought. Now, the fine print read that he couldn't make jokes about racism, sexism, classism, ageism, ableism, homophobia, biphobia, transphobia, xenophobia, Islamophobia, or anti-religion or anti-atheism. I need a drink now after reading that list. It also declared that his material had to be respectful and kind. I mean, come on, he's a comedian. This was also an unpaid gig to raise money for the school's UNICEF charity, which he was happy to do, but the level of restriction was too much, to say the least. He said, if I did that in Russia, this guy's originally from Russia, our only listeners would be the KGB. Ideological oppression is exactly what I'd hope to escape by coming to the UK from Russia. But as that behavioral agreement form showed, he was wrong. Now, what do you make of this? I get often asked to do things, and one of the things they often say is, please don't swear when you're on live TV. But anything else, if they said don't refer to this or don't refer to that, I wouldn't go. What say you?
Yeah, this is why Jerry Seinfeld, who's a liberal, by the way, a classical liberal, this is why he and Chris Rock, who's also a liberal, a classical liberal, why these guys won't perform for college campuses, okay?
Right.
Here's what's going on. They're attacking our language, okay? Political correctness is designed, it's basically fascism that pretends to be manners.
It is.
Okay? Now, comedians are grouped into this box to where if you are Jewish, you can joke about being Jewish.
Right.
If you're black, you can joke about black people. If you're gay, you can joke about gay people. And they group you into these boxes, and these politically correct, really what they are, they're authoritarian, control freak, nut job psychopaths. Okay?
Absolutely.
That's all political correctness is. I would never perform for people that had a stick up their ass.
No.
Now, I understand not cussing on live TV,
Yeah.
know your audience, but when you go into a comedy club, expect there's going to be some raunchy stuff.
Yeah. Cause why would you be there if you were that offended? When I used to do a lot more stand-up, I've done gay clubs and joked about HIV, and people have gone, but it's been funny. The thing is that as far as I'm concerned, the comedians talk about these taboo subjects and actually kind of get people thinking about them, but do it in a funny way. I mean, I don't know what your ethos is about it, but for me, that's what it's about. And if as a gay man, as a gay comedian, I can't talk about gay people, what the hell is the point in going on stage?
Yeah, and the whole rule for making a joke is simple. It's so simple that everyone forgets it.
Right.
Is the joke funny, yes or no? And that's very subjective because one man's vulgarity is another man's lyric. Okay?
Yes.
If you
Yeah.
want clean humor, Jerry Seinfeld's your guy.
Yeah.
I get that. That's funny. If you want some raunchy humor, Andrew Dice Clay. It's cool. But yeah, I mean, what they're trying to do is they're trying to, the left has ruined everything, okay?
Of course.
They have ruined the school system. They have ruined television. They've ruined the Academy Awards. They've ruined politics. They've ruined our border. And they're ruining comedy and free speech. And by the way, if you guys are against, any one of your listeners, if they're against this attack on free speech, that's the most important thing. Because if they can attack our speech, they're coming for the guns next. They're coming for your Fourth Amendment, your Fifth Amendment, and
Right.
so on.
I mean, I don't know when we actually got to this point where disagreeing became hate speech. I'm openly gay, and I can't say anything about the gay community without being called a homophobe. But that's like saying, if you're Irish and you tell Irish jokes, that you're anti-Irish. I cannot get this concept through my head. But I don't know. Maybe I've asked you this before because we've talked a lot. Is there any subject that should be off the table? Is there any object that's not funny?
Nothing. Anything can be funny. As George Carlin once brilliantly said, it depends on the context in which you use it.
Right.
You can say the N-word. You can say the C-word. You can joke about rape. You can joke about pedophilia. You can joke about any subject. It depends on the context in which you use it.
You're right.
And if the joke is funny.
You're right. And actually also what it does is it determines how good a comedian you are. I just want to respond to Neil in the chat. He said, he's put in parentheses, hey everybody, how you doing? Who here has AIDS? I mean, obviously what I said was a lot more funnier than that. What I actually said was, here I am performing in a gay club, and I'm bringing on new acts, and it's nice to have some fresh blood on the gay scene. And I said, I'm allowed to say that in a gay club, with the rise of HIV. Fresh blood HIV, which to me was hilarious. But, some people thought that was tasteless. But, if as a gay man, if there are things that I can't joke about, then don't invite me to perform. I mean, I appreciate every venue is going to have a different ideology. Like if I'm performing on television, I can't use the F-bomb and things like that. But I actually got asked to do a show last year that I turned down, and they said, "Oh, can you tone down the gay shit?" And I'm like, "But that's like 75% of my act, hitting on the host and things like that." Have you ever been in the situation, don't worry, I'm not going to ask you if you've been held on by a gay guy, because I'm sure it happens to you like every day. Have you been asked to tone it down ever, or not to talk about certain things?
Oh, absolutely. I was doing stand-up comedy in Springfield, Illinois, one year, and I killed it. I just did great. When I came back the following week to do another set, the owner of the club said to all of us, and I know he was talking to me, but he didn't have the balls to just come to me. He said, quote, "We got a little raunchy last week. We need to tone it down."
Wow.
Because it wasn't funny and too raunchy. And I got to tell you, I killed it. I thought it was great. We had a lot of people laugh. It was funny. It was a fun time. He's told me to turn it down. I was doing a gig in L.A. once in Hollywood, and I was doing this joke talking about how everyone's a racist. And I was making the point of, if you're in a game of pickup basketball and you have to choose teammates, right? Okay, you're going to pick Mutombo, the 7-foot-tall basketball player.
Yeah, for sure.
Before you pick Lenny the Jew, who's 5 foot tall.
Yeah.
And so that joke just got silent, because all of the lefties in the crowd were so scared to laugh. Do we laugh at this? What do we do? Absolutely. Yeah, I've been told that several times, that my stuff's vulgar and crass and I need to tone it down.
I'm kind of tired of the things that the left are taking away from us, and I won't do it. This kind of ideology that if you support Donald Trump, that you're a racist. I'm not kind of putting up with that BS ever again from anyone. I am not going to have people weaponize their commentary to silence mine, whether that be when I'm on stage as a comedian or broadcasting live. I am not going to have that happen, because if it's true, then I'll go with it, or if it's funny, I'll make it even funnier. In fact, the guy I just kicked out of the chat said I should lay off the potatoes. I don't eat potatoes. I'm sitting here eating KFC all day, mother effer. So, you know what I mean? You kind of got to go with it, but I'm not letting the left steal anything else from me.
No, and they've reached a point, and all this political correctness starts with euphemisms. Like, when I was a kid, Xander, we didn't have play dates, okay? We just went outside and played. When I was a kid, we played hide and go seek. Now kids play this game called Alligator. What the fuck is Alligator? When I was a kid, we had water fights with water pistols and full-blown contact football with no pads.
Right.
Now kids need safe spaces. Now, take a look at what Gwyneth Paltrow saying. This transcends time up to idiots like her. Okay, she didn't get divorced. Her and her husband became consciously uncoupled.
What the hell is that like?
The only thing that's consciously, well, let me tell you, the only thing that, when I think of consciously uncoupled, the only thing I think about is a sex act that involves a midget, a hooker from Tijuana, and a trucker named Bob.
I told you my name's not Bob anymore, so please stop using that information, okay? I want to move on to another topic because I see the time is drifting on. So at a time of the year when everything is coming out cinnamon, KFC is getting into the holiday spirit with a very unusual product. If you're looking for gift ideas, listen up. So a fire log that's designed to smell like fried chicken has just come on the market. The 11 herbs and spices. The fire log is designed to emulate the smell of the fast food chain's Colonel's secret recipe chicken. For more than 1 million years, mankind has been attempting to improve upon the simple fire KFC said on its website. We've tried burning different things, live sticks or leaves, or various incriminating documents. Haha. We've tried making fires last longer. We've even figured out how to turn them into different colors. All of that experimentation, all of that innovation has culminated in this event, the KFC 11 Herbs and Spices Fire Log. And it's only $18.99 plus shipping while supplies last. And there's a disclaimer on the log, and it says, please don't put face directly into the fire in an attempt to smell fried chicken. So, are you going to be running out and buying this for everybody, Stephen?
No. I already fantasize about KFC in my sleep.
Ditto.
That smell is enough to make anyone want to masturbate. I don't need any more KFC logs in my house. I mean, I already crave chicken strips and chicken wings and little chickens from KFC. I don't need anything else. They don't need to remind me. They're doing a good enough job. Yeah.
I mean, I read that and I thought, is this a joke? But it's apparently it's true. And you know, at Christmas, everything is, you know, I'm tired of this cinnamon ice cream, cinnamon French fries. I'm glad it's limited to Christmas, but you know, I'm cinnamoned out. I don't want cinnamon anything unless it happens to be cinnamon.
Yeah, exactly. I all these flavors, like whatever happened to coffee? Can you order a regular cup of coffee anymore without throat mocha frappo latte chai?
Yeah.
You know, cinnamon holiday blend.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely getting crazy, and I got to tell you, I think it's going to get a lot worse before it's all said and done.
I think so too, because it's like we don't appreciate the finer things in life. You know, to quote Frasier, Frasier's father, I'm a regular Joe and I like my Joe regular. You know, what is wrong with just having, you know, regular coffee with milk and sugar and whatever you want? Why'd you have to put a whole load of crap in it? I saw orange spiced coffee once when I went into one of these chains. I was like, why the hell would you want orange in coffee? That just spoils it. No, thank you.
Yeah, these same people that have orange coffee, they eat blood sausage. They're just psychotics.
Absolutely. So we're coming to an end of our time together, but I want to ask you what Christmas means to you. And I know you're a father now. I'm often seeing the pictures of your beautiful daughter. What does Christmas mean to you, and has it changed since you've become a father?
Yeah, so Christmas to me is really, it's one of my favorite holidays. It's the end of the year. We celebrate the birth of Christ. For me, it's about making sure my daughter and my family have a wonderful Christmas and reminding them how much they're loved. And, you know, the war on Christmas, it's getting extremely terrible, this entire war on Christmas. I say Merry Christmas. If a Jewish person wants to say, you know, Happy Hanukkah to me, great, go for it.
Sure.
If somebody who celebrates Kwanzaa wants to say Happy Kwanzaa, great, do it. I say Merry Christmas, and I don't apologize for it, and I don't give a fuck who gets it.
No, I'm absolutely the same. So how has Christmas changed with being a dad? Has all of your focus when you become a dad? And do you tell dad jokes? That's the other thing I want to know.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like there was a Strange Love episode where a woman pretended to be a dog and she role played as a dog, and her and her husband, he was also her trainer, they would you know make love. But so this woman who liked to pretend she was a dog, she really liked it rough. So anyway, that's little dad jokes like that. Yeah, it takes a while, but yeah. Being a dad, I'll tell you, it's very, very high stress because you are now responsible for another human being.
Wow.
And you know, it's not like having a bunch of little midgets around your house. You got a little person around your house.
You do.
A real new human being.
Right.
And you know, when it gets down to it, it's one of the greatest feelings in the world being dad. And at Christmas, you know, it's just about giving her the best Christmas that I possibly can.
Absolutely. I'm not a dad, unfortunately, but I am an uncle. But, you know, I remember when my niece was a baby and she was so tiny, I was afraid to hold her. And she was my great niece, actually. And my niece was like, Uncle Xander, you used to, you know, look after me. Just pick up the damn kid and stopped treating her like a China doll. And after that, I was absolutely fine, because they are these like little tiny people that, you know, you're scared of dropping and you don't want to break them, etc., etc. But I guess the newness wears off very quickly.
I think it's
Well, we are. Go ahead. Sorry, you broke up a little there.
Oh no, it was, you know, you drop them a couple of times, they
We're losing you. Are you still there?
Oh, I am still here.
I got you. It was probably just a connection. But we are at the end of our time, Stephen. Tell people where they can find you. Your contact information is available on the X-Rad Facebook page for today. But where can they come and see you live?
They can go to StephenDSnyder.com. That's Stephen, S-T-E-V-E-N, D for David, and then Snyder, SNYDER.com. That's the easiest way to find me. And on there, you can find out everything I've got going on. And there's many ways to contact me on there as well.
Absolutely. But for now, thank you so much for joining us. Have a fabulous Christmas. Give your wife my love and give your baby a big kiss from Uncle Zan. And have a fabulous Christmas.
I absolutely will. You do the same, Xander.
Thanks a lot, Stephen. Take care.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Right, you too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
That was comedian Stephen D Snyder. Make sure you check him out. Go and have a look at his website. All of his information is on the X-Rad Facebook page for today. Thanks to everyone who has made today's show possible. Thanks to Julio Rivera. Thanks to everyone in the live chat. Don't forget, I will be on The Real Side with Joe Messina tonight, 6 Pacific. I can't work out the rest of it. 6 Pacific. You'll have to work it out yourself. All these different time zones in America, it's crazy. But I will be on there at 6 Pacific. Thanks to everyone in the live feed. I've actually just lost the live feed. Oh, it's back. Thanks to everyone for listening. Thanks for everyone that's supported me this year. It's been a very difficult year. I hope you all have a fabulous Christmas. Don't burn the turkey. Don't give anyone salmonella. We will be back. We will be back this year, actually. We'll be back next Friday. Yes, that's 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, 9 Eastern, 8 Central. Thank you, CV. I've lived away from America too long to be able to work it out. So make sure you have a fabulous Christmas. Join in this final song. Please share the video for the show. And I love you all. I really do. Take care of yourselves. No, I don't want to. I'm waiting for this song to start. Go ahead. Merry Christmas. And I will see you very soon. Oh, bring some out here to you and your kin. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Bye-bye.
It has been good to me this time around. Things were bound to change when it was